is a tutorial for framing, camera framing, of course, not framing, police framing or something like that. Anyways, what we have here is Premiere's screen. We're going to say browse, and we're going to go to my desktop and put this project under Terry-tastic, okay? And I'll just call this Almeida _ David. Okay, and I'm going to copy and paste this because I'm going to do this probably 3 more times. So it just saves me from doing it that many times. All right, press OK. I'm not going to care about my format right now. So this the sequence. I'm going to copy and paste. Paste my name on there so I don't have to redo it again. And I'll pick any one of these. And it should open up Premiere. So I'm going to import my footage. And what I'll do is I'll bring in the whole folder. So I'm going to click Terry-tastic. And notice I'm not double clicking inside the folder. I'm literally just saying import the whole folder. And it should bring in a folder with all the content inside of it. Okay. All right, so you would scrub through and find your best clips. I would start from maybe extreme long shot or extreme close up and then work your way down. Does that make sense, guys? So let's work with a extreme long shot, and I'm assuming this is your extreme long shot, guys. Is it correct? Okay, so I'm just going to double click on it, and it's going to go into my source bin. It's in my source bin, and you only need 5 seconds, right? So I'm going to scrub here, and my clip's 6 seconds. So here's a cool trick. What the hell is he doing? Guys, what's Terry doing? Okay, so there's 6 seconds. I only need 5. So I'm going to find the 5 best seconds. So I'm going to say around here, I'm going to go in. To press in, I press the letter I on Premiere. Notice it's my in point. So I'm going to zoom in. It starts a point right there. I'm going to scrub through, and I'm going to press O. Now it's telling me that right there I have 4 seconds and 29 frames. I'm literally just one more frame to being perfectly in 5 seconds. So I'm going to press my cursor key, guys, left and right. I went to the right 1 frame. I'm going to press O, and it's telling me that this in and out point is exactly 5 seconds. So what I'll do now is I'll click and drag this onto my timeline. Okay, so I have this clip that is 5 seconds exactly. Okay, so that's a precision editing I'm looking for in this assignment. Let's go back to my bin, and guys, help me out. What's your next shot going to be? Is it this one? This one? This one here? All right, so I'll double click that, and it's going into my in and out source. So it's 7 seconds and 28 frames. So I'm going to find the best 7 seconds. So maybe starting around here. I'll do an in point. So I'll press the letter I and press O. So that gives me 6 seconds. So maybe I got to trim down a bit. Or I can also shrink that in as well. And I have 5 seconds. So you see what I'm doing here, guys? I'm trying to get that 5 seconds perfect. Bring that in. Okay. And you continue this. What's the medium shot here? This one here? I don't know what this is. That's extreme. So this would be your medium shot? Okay. Now, you're probably wondering, sir, like, do we have to edit this way? Well, I recommend it, right? It's just the easier way to edit and make sure you're precise. Because now this clip's 9 seconds, and so maybe I'll start right off the bat. He's grooving. Oh, but I want the voguing, and so maybe I'll make a decision here to use the latter part. So I'll put an O there, and maybe bring Mrs. Right there, maybe in. So what do I got? I got 529, so I can take a few seconds from the back or the beginning. Let's take a few shots from the beginning of. So it's telling me if I shrink this, it's 5 seconds, so I'll drag that in. Cool. Pretty simple stuff, right, guys? Is this the close-up? Same idea. I'll just minimize this for now. This is the one he cries? Let's just play this through. I don't know if I include the audio. So this 24-second clip, I only need 5, so maybe I'll start right here. I'll start with an I, with an endpoint. And oh, so that's 7 seconds. So maybe I'll shrink it a bit more. Okay, so that's the next shot. And then we'll go back to here to our close-up, which is this one here. This one? All right, so let's use that. All right, so let's do an endpoint from there. And out. So that's 7 seconds. Let's maybe trim. Wow. Now we need that in the beginning. I'm going to bring this end part back down. All right, so I'm at 5 seconds right there. Okay, drag that in. Okay, so I don't have to worry about my source anymore. So all my clips are in. They're 5 seconds long. And just to prove this, this is your timeline with all the clips in there. And I should end at 25 seconds. Exactly, guys. So 25 seconds, I finished my edit. Do you guys see that? If yours is not 25 seconds exactly, you lose marks. All right? So show your precision. 5 seconds for each frame shot. Now, I'm going to just save my file. The only thing you got to do now is start adding graphics. Okay? So, not to bore you guys, you could actually import graphics from Photoshop or Illustrator. What I'm going to do here is just use Premiere Title. So what I'm going to do here is just go to default still. And I'll call this extreme long shot. I'm going to highlight it, Command C to copy it. I'll explain why. Now, one thing to know, the background is dependent on the timeline's indicator. So where you are on the timeline will be the background. Technically, this is transparent, okay? So what I'm going to do here is put a title graphic and use your discretion whether you want to go left justified or right justified. I'm going to click on my text box right here. And I'm going to press Command V. Why do you think I'm going to do Command V? To paste, exactly. So I don't have to retype it. Pick your font here, guys. There's tons of styles if you want to do something cheesy. Like, yeah, extreme long shot. Or if you want to just keep it simple, just grab a font from the font library. And let's just change, no style, just normal. Pick the color if you like from the RGB. Yeah, that's a nice color, I guess. And if you want to, you can grab a little rectangle. You can click and drag it across. And what I'll do here is change the opacity. It makes it semi-transparent. And I want it behind the text. So all I'll do is right click on it and say arrange and send this to the back. So the white box is actually behind the green graphics. Okay. This is weird. I'm just going to actually close this. I'm going to close this and nothing really happens. Well, except for this. The graphic shows up in my project bin. What I'll do is I'll drag this onto layer 2. Now, what's cool about this is that graphic is now above it. Now, I can shrink it so it shows up and does not show up. Do you guys see that? I can shrink it for the whole clip. If you wanted to, you can grab something from your effects bin, and you can do say a transition where you kind of just dissolve the end of it so it kind of fades. Is that cool? Now, going back to the project bin, here's a little cool trick. If you right click on the file and go to a thing called duplicate, it'll make a duplication of that. I'm going to rename this long shot. Okay? And I'm going to move my timeline cursor to my next shot. And what I'll do is I'll double click this. Now the word extreme is still there because there's duplication. And what I'll do is I'll just take out the word extreme out and maybe shrink the box a bit. And I'll close it. Then I'll bring that long shot clip right over top of it. So indicate with some graphic what kind of shot you are showcasing on the screen. If you want to add a little dissolve or some type of graphic to it. All right. So the trick here, guys, is duplicating. It's going to save you so much time. So right click on the clip, go duplicate. This will be called medium shot. And I'll just Command C, double click it. Now, see this problem? You see how the text is there? Okay. Some of you might leave the box as a self. Some of you guys might not even use the box. It's up to you. It's a style, right? And then you'll click and drag it over top. Okay. Do I have to show you this anymore? Is that cool? You can do that 2 more times. If you want to disable the audio on your track, see that little link right there says toggle track output? I'll click on it and there's no audio. Now, if you wanted to add music, download a song, put it on there, and throw in the track, audio track 2, and that will override the audio on your composition. Is that cool? I'm going to save this. Then you'll have to export this. Very simple, guys. You go File, Export Media. One thing before I do this, make sure that this work area bar here is right to the last clip. If it's shrunk or it's been moved, it'll only do this area to that point. Okay, so make sure this bar is fully engaged on your whole timeline. File, Export Media. And you're going to use the H.264 format. Just make sure that the source size and the output size are the same. So 1920 by 1080, that'll be fine. It's already named for me, but I'm just going to make sure it's in the right folder. And I'm going to put this into my desktop, and it's going to be Almeida David Framing. And I'll press export. I won't do Q because Q, if you do multiple files, is a smart thing to do. But if you're just doing single individual files, just press export. And essentially, it'll just take every frame from your composition, your timeline, and make it one single MP4 file. And we're back. So I'll save this. I'll minimize it, and then on my desktop, oops. Somewhere there it is. Almeida, we'll play it. Actually, I'll open it with VLC player. Up to you guys if you want to keep the sound or not. Oh my gosh. Okay, guys, have fun editing that.